How are we doing this week, everybody? It's the Ravery Sports Podcast. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content. I'm Charles, the owner of Ravery Sports Podcast, our LLC here, where we sell jerseys and hats, Ravens and Orioles merchandise. We sell a lot of those information. We sell a lot of that stuff here on our website, raverysports.company.site. The site is we're in our third year now, second year. Yeah. So definitely we're going to be revamping the site here soon. It's kind of what we do around the Super Bowl is go ahead and kind of revamp it and go over some things. So we're going to go be ahead and doing that. Also to check out our links from Fanatics as well. And so here we also to our content creation. So we have Ravery Sports media side of it where we do content creation. We do Twitter posts. We talk football, baseball, basketball, Terps basketball, with the Baltimore sports emphasis. So that's what we do here as well. But we sell our jerseys on raverysports.company.site and on our Fanatics. So anything you don't see on the site, you can see it on Fanatics. You can always email us and definitely like that. I'm thinking we're going to have a stream explaining that side of it. It's been a while since we've had like a jersey stream where we go over that. So I'm thinking about doing that. We're going to have a lot of good content coming to you for the Super Bowl. Hopefully, as always, the Ravens will be in the Super Bowl. Other stuff that we have, see Charles Harris. We are LegalShield.com. For those of you out there that are looking for Legal Shield, that are looking for legal protection, we definitely have that for you. Legal Shield is definitely a great resource for you. So definitely, like it's a lot of money you spend on lawyers and all that, etc. So Legal Shield is a great resource for you. Also to Genesis Notary Services in Winchester, Virginia. So definitely check it out as well. So Genesis Notary Services is here in the Winchester, Virginia area. If you know, you know. So it's fantastic. Thank you, all of you, for making 2025 our most profitable year. It's definitely a true stream of income for me now. So very grateful for all of you out here in the Winchester area for supporting that as well. Pretty soon, we're going to have some announcements about our Super Bowl Sunday. We're going to have a lot of good stuff for you coming around Super Bowl time as well. And again, hopefully, the Ravens are in the Super Bowl. Now, I said that. They certainly didn't look like a Super Bowl team on Thanksgiving night because they totally put him back up there. They got the brakes beat off of them, frankly, with the Bengals on Thursday night. You see the score 32-14. You could argue if it was that close in the second half. Didn't play well. Obviously, I thought this was terrible stuff by the Ravens on Sunday night, on Thursday night, rather. So let's go over it here. This guy did play, Joe Burrow. 24 for 46, 261, 2 TDs.
Somebody's at his door.
I give an overall thumbs up, close to the thumbs in the middle for Joe Burrow returning. Looked a little rusty in the first half, I thought. In the first half he was kind of missing passes, wasn't there. I think that's why his percentage and everything was so low. In the second half, that looked more like the Joe Burrow we're all used to seeing. 261, 2 TD passes. I thought it was fine overall. I tell you what, the offensive line looked better than I've seen it all season. So definitely, they definitely had a good performance against a Ravens team that was absolutely lacking. No question about it. Chase Brown, 15 carries, 78 yards. He's actually not bad. I think Chase Brown, every time I see him, he's pretty good. I think the line is kind of up and down. I don't think the Bengals offensive line is as bad as advertised. I mean, simply because they had so many Burrow injuries, they get kind of like a negative connotation with it. But their offensive line isn't terrible as advertised. It was decent. It was decent Monday though. But Brown, I think, is part of part of it is they don't utilize him as much. They kind of, a lot of teams, this is a trend with a lot of NFL teams, they kind of forget the run. They, especially if they're winning, they'll kind of throw. I mean, bro had 46 throws. Like, you know, you got a good running back there. Utilize him. There was no T. Higgins in this game due to a concussion, but Jamar Chase, I could tell you what, we're seeing it with Jamar Chase, and we saw it before with A.J. Green. They just struggle, no matter who it is, with these receivers. Ravens do not do well with these with these Bengals receivers, regardless of who it is. You would think with T. Higgins out of the game, you wouldn't have all the emphasis would be on stopping Jamar Chase, and he still went for 100+ yards. He just reads the zone well. I thought he got through as well. I thought also once Nate Wiggins went out of the game, that mattered. Awuzie did a good job on him, but Humphrey, I thought he had the best of Humphrey. He usually gets the best of Humphrey. I think they put Humphrey on him, and he just doesn't. You know, Humphrey, his on-ball stuff this year hasn't been great, but Jamar Chase has been fantastic. Joseph Awai, 2 sacks. They were all in the Ravens' backfield. All in the Ravens' backfield. That offensive line play, again, was terrible for the Ravens. This guy, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, this is not a guy. This is a guy who is a vet guy, young guy who's playing in the league. He's just terrible. Just flat out terrible. Offensive line was terrible, and it made the defense, which is statistically the worst in the NFL, look really good. Lamar, not good. 13 of 23, 153. He hasn't had a touchdown passed out in 3 games now. 2 fumbles. You could argue the one was a pass. I kind of thought it was a pass. They ruled a fumble on the field. I think you could have easily labeled that a pass. But Lamar, for the first time, I'm seeing Lamar miss throws. He's not running as much, whatever. That's one thing, but he's missing throws. He's not hitting guys like, and always. He's always been so accurate, but he's missing guys. So I think that's a real thing. Lamar missing throws is a real thing. So I've never seen this from him really since his rookie year, him missing. I believe, too, the lack of practice. Now, he did practice today, limited. That's a good sign. Maybe he's getting more healthy, but it matters. Definitely matters. When you don't practice, it kind of throws the timing off. Now, some would say he's been throwing at these same guys. I know. But a good shooter needs to shoot. If Steph Curry didn't shoot a ball for months, Steph Curry is not going to look like the Steph Curry we're used to seeing. He's got to practice a little bit more. So hopefully he gets healthy. He did have this. He's looking at his first full week of practice this week, we hope. Derrick Henry, no beef with Derrick Henry. 21 for 64. That's what you're supposed to do at least every game with Henry. He is supposed to carry. Look, whenever they try and run him over right side, it's a mess. They can't block for him. Again, and I keep beating up the guards. I don't know what else to tell you at this point. I mean, it was awful. I would be remiss. You've got to be kidding me when you're saying you're putting in Emory Jones on the left side for you. Wow, that was a wow for me. I know I was on Twitter. Somebody on Twitter got all upset. I don't care. You got this guy is unplayable on the right side. You put him on the left side. In the presser, Harbaugh was like, "Well, he I don't want to mess up his development. Playing both sides. Put him on the right side where the guy's awful." Gosh. Anyway, but all that being said, Derrick Henry is feeling the effects of that because they're just blowing it up every time as well, especially when Lamar not running the football. They're loading up more on Henry. The line isn't very good, etc. Another good Zay Flowers game, 5 receptions, 58 yards. Isaiah Likely was really good. Isaiah Likely was really good. Is that the right stat? I think it was Isaiah Likely. We'll certainly talk about Isaiah Likely here in a second. Here, what happened today, as far as that goes. I think that's the wrong stat there. So Isaiah Likely in the last game was nine. Yeah, it was Isaiah Likely. I don't know why Jay Flowers is there. So Isaiah Likely was 5 of 95. This was probably his best outing of the season, as well. Now that being said, he did fumble in a crucial situation at the end zone. I think that play, when he didn't score on a long pass from Lamar, really changed the tone of things by not getting in. So that's yeah. So there it is. Isaiah Likely. That is what happened there as well. So that was big. Marlon Humphrey, up and down night from Marlon. I saw some good stuff. He did have a sack in this one. I don't think he's. Marlon at times, I gotta say, he's hit or miss when he's actually man to man on the outside. They've always kind of given him credit for being this great outside guy, man to man. I don't always see it. I think he's good in zone. I think he's good creating turnovers. He had a sack. He had, he's definitely punching the ball out, but I don't know about that. I thought, but the defense as a whole, I think they overall lacked pass rush. They really didn't get a whole lot of sacks. I think you got to get home. I think Mike Green, we got to see a little bit more from him. Drummond Jones, we'll see. We'll see how that goes as well. So, not a good night. Obviously, Ravens lose 32-14. Now their record goes to 6-6. Bengals are still dead. I'm saying the Bengals are not dead. Bengals, it's over. You got too many losses. I don't think they win all their games. It is a snowball possibility that they can make it 9-8 if they win games. They'd have to win both games against the Ravens, so the Ravens would have to lose both games. The Ravens are going to see them here after this next game, so they're not going to have. There's going to be a quick turnaround time as well. It's tough to beat 18, so we're going to see they're going to get another shot at them here real quick. But without further ado, it's Steelers week. The Steelers and the Ravens. So I think this is the best rivalry in the NFL. What? You want to say hi? You're not on camera. See, there you go. There you go. Now you're on camera. And even a little Alani is excited about the Steelers week. The Ravens and the Steelers. I think this might still be one of the best rivalries in the National Football League. And I think these are two of the great franchises, I think, in all of the NFL. Much as I don't like Pittsburgh and all that, I do have a lot of respect for the Steeler franchise in terms of what they've done. They won the Super Bowl 6 times, obviously. So we will see what's going on there as well. So let's check it out here. Steelers are 6-6. The winner of this game is going to be, for better or worse, in first place by themselves. Also, could this be the last time in Baltimore that we get Mike Tomlin versus John Harbaugh as coach? One or both may be lead. We'll see. A lot of them are getting a lot of pressure all of a sudden. So, two longest tenured coaches in the entire league in the same division going at each other as well. Aaron, 19 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 1969 as far as yardage. Left the game early, did miss the game, did get a nasty hit. Aaron didn't look good in his last start. He just celebrated his 42nd birthday. So secondly, he's one of the oldest players in the league. I don't know about Aaron. He's probably better than Mason Rudolph, I think, but I think Father Time definitely looks like his. I mean, he's banged up. He's definitely banged up. His accuracy is still fairly decent. I'll say that. I think when he gets time and all that, that is a help. But I think he's still fairly decent of a passer. So if he gets time, the Ravens struggle with the pass rush, but I think like you'll have a better chance to get to an Aaron Rodgers more than you would a Joe Burrow in the weeks past, like you had last week. Jaylen Warren, I think about my man E-Man whenever I talk about Jaylen Warren. I was on his show one time, and he didn't think much of Jaylen Warren as being a good every down, every play back. He kind of saw Jaylen as a functional second back as well, kind of like Tony Pollard. You know, he made the reference about Tony Pollard being a guy that's good if you got like Ezekiel Elliott on your team, or good, you know, if you have another guy. That's kind of the way it's played out in Pittsburgh, because him now with Najee Harris gone, has had the opportunity to kind of take him in and out. You see Gainwell, he has had the most slice of the cake, 604, not terrible, 3 touchdowns, but they're lacking game, but the run game is still lacking as well. A lot of talk about DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf is, by the way, a number 1 receiver. For those of you out there that didn't know, that didn't think that, they did get him some help, which he desperately needs. They did go get Adam Thielen this week, who for sure is going to be suited up and ready to go on Sunday to play against the Ravens. The rest of their receiving core isn't any good. I think that's some of it as well. They've had injuries. Offense is very pedestrian. It's not good or bad. I really can't say. Aaron's pretty good. Warren's pretty good. Metcalf's pretty good. The line's okay. It depends on how good the defense plays. They're about to meet in the middle. This guy is fantastic, TJ Watt. I think there is some slippage. I do see. Well, this guy really just wreaked havoc all the time. Right up there with Myles Garrett. Not quite as good, but still good. 7 sacks, really good. I think that's the one thing the Steelers do have still, is they have a history. We know the history of the Steelers. Kevin Green, Greg Lloyd, James Harrison, all throughout the years, Lamar Whitley, guys like a good pass rush bookends of any team. And I think they still have that now with TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith. That's the one thing I think they do have, and that's the one area where I think the Ravens do need to contain. They're going to need good games from Roger Rosengarten and Ronnie Stanley to go ahead and contain it. Lamar has struggled a bit with the Steeler pass rush because they make it play in the pocket. Now, this year, Lamar's game has been different. He hasn't been running as much, so that may or may not work in his favor, but we will see with that. Let's see. Where's the Lamar stats?
Oh, I got you, sis.
Where's the Lamar stats? All right, so Lamar Jackson. So let's go ahead. Lamar has not thrown a touchdown in at least 3 games for the season. Lamar, 15 touchdowns, so only 4 interceptions, which is still a really good 64.8%, 1841 as far as his stat line goes. No, we're not talking about TJ Watt. We're doing Lamar stats. There's the correct Lamar stat line. 18 for 41, 15 TDs, 4 interceptions. He has struggled lately. Lamar, that was not the Lamar we're used to seeing. That wasn't him that we saw when you talk about Lamar Jackson in terms of his passing accuracy. Um, Lamar doesn't miss throws. Like people would always, that's why I thought the whole argument Lamar can't pass, not bad for a running back, was such a ridiculous argument because his accuracy was always so solid. Um, Not as far as great in terms of arm strength and as far as frozen, and all that all the time, but definitely the passing average. But like missing throws, seeing that a little bit more lately here. So as well. Derrick Henry. We got that right. Derrick Henry. 931 yards. Derrick Henry again on his way to yet another 1,000-yard season this year. Henry, I believe, outside of his issues here the first couple weeks, the biggest problem for him as far as that goes is the offensive line isn't any good. I think that's what it is. His biggest problem. It almost worked last year when you had Pat Ricard there. I mean, I think it was a decent enough thing when you had Pat Ricard there to kind of cover up for Lele, but they're kind of struggling in two areas, and it's hard to, it's hard for them to fix that. So that's definitely a problem as well. Zay Flowers, 60 catches, 660, 767. This is his regular season. Only one TD that he scored week 1 in Buffalo as well. We'll see about that. I think Flowers, they got to help him a bit as well. Let's see some more of that. Skip to that even. Lashard Bateman really hasn't done much as far as offensively. I think it's only because they're not really looking his way. Not so many balls. Quarterbacks struggle a little more. So let's put the X on Rashard Bateman this week as well. Back to defense. Marlon Humphrey as well. Let's see a little something from Marlon, man. Let's see a little something. Let's see how he does. I think he's been kind of up and down. It's hard to say. Some people immediately like to kill him in terms of that. PFF numbers not great for Marlon, but I've seen some good things as well. Need to see a little bit of consistency. It's all about him being healthy. I think with him, a healthy Marlon Humphrey is effective, but there's some weeks he goes out there, he's just not healthy. Let's see Kyle Van Noy come out of witness protection, man. Kyle Van Noy, very quiet lately. Losing snaps, I think, to Draymond Jones in a lot of areas. Mike Green has played a lot of snaps as well, so we haven't seen as much production from Kyle Van Noy. They went ahead and they traded away. But Adafiowe. So interesting to see what happens here. There's a comment here. Hold on. I'm watching you on Twitter. Well done. Let's see. Lamar used to miss a lot of throws. He's been throwing a whole lot better the last couple of years up until this year. Rick Arnold, my man. I've never seen him miss throws, Rick, like I've seen now. Where he's missing guys because quarterbacks miss throw, but just air mailing stuff. I haven't seen that up until recently. So yeah, so here we go. Steelers week. There's nothing better than beating the Steelers. All you Steeler fans out there, y'all can go ahead and you know where you could go this week because the Ravens are going to take first place in the division all by themselves on Sunday. We're going to have the A team there this week, Nance and Romo, however you feel about them. They're going to go ahead and be calling the action as well. So definitely check it out. 1 o'clock on Sunday, Paramount Plus, CBS. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the Ravens to go ahead and take back first place in the North. All right. Big five biggest games on the schedule that are not Ravens games. 5 biggest games on the NFL schedule that are not Ravens games. So we got definitely coming down the stretch. Now we're in December. So the stretch run. Now we're going to find out who makes the playoffs, who is the good teams, who are the bad teams, who gets eliminated. Couple teams in trouble here at the end. We're going to have some new teams in the playoffs for sure. Um, so let's go over it. Let's go over last week. There was a lot of games on Thursday. I'm gonna talk about 6 games here too. I'm gonna cheat and go over 6 because I was watching one that's not on here. I definitely want to talk about that. Lions and Packers. Packers. Packers are really good. No question about it. Jordan Love, he'll have 2 or 3 games where for whatever reason he's just awful, but he's going to be good in the other 16. I think the Lions are having a few issues. I think like they can only kind of win one way. Goff hasn't been as good this year. That was kind of my concern. Without Ragnar, without these guys, without that great line, not quite as good when he goes against good teams. And I think like they have great days running the ball for sure. They definitely have that. But I think Green Bay, I think is I'd be surprised if they fall behind the Lions anymore this year. Chiefs and Cowboys. Word is this is the highest watched game in the history of the NFL regular season. Cowboys have battled back. I'm gonna give them credit here. So who would have thought that the Cowboys would have a better record than the Chiefs here at Thanksgiving? Dallas offense is good. They're gonna score. That's been a fact, and their defense has improved. They went out and got Quentin Williams. Kenny Clark's been good for them. They can kind of stop the run now. They still don't have great pass rush. They're getting there, and I think they can score points to keep them in games. The Chiefs, I don't know what's going on. I think I heard a rumor that Mahomes was hurt. Like, is that?
And today we are playing mystery game. It starts with an S.
Yeah, he's not. He may not. They may not even have him. So that's proof. They don't need that. Rams and Panthers. Let's talk about that because that was fascinating. I thought that was truly a case of a team like the Rams, definitely just turning the ball over. That was the thing. And the Ram, and I love the fact that we're talking next week about Army and Navy. Like they just ran it every play. They literally ran it. The Panthers just literally ran it every play. Bryce Young didn't throw any passes unless somebody was wide open or it was third down. That was it. So Panthers go ahead, get the win. Good for them. Over the Rams. Rams are still really good. Eagles are 8-4. Bears are 9-3. Last night on the open mic, Ken's trying to tell me that the Bears are the best team. He's got a point. I mean, he's got a case. I'm still not convinced they're the best team in the NFL. They're the top, but they're good right now. They definitely got offense for sure. Definitely Ben Johnson's listening to him. Eagles, I think, are what they are. I don't know what's going on with their offense. Their offensive line isn't as good for sure, and I think that's a real thing for them. But the offensive line again, like Detroit, the offensive line falling back is a real thing. Texans and the Colts, I definitely checked that one out as well. I was watching both of those games side by side. I was definitely more interested in the Rams and Panthers in the way it went. I will say this: the Colts, the Texans are really emerging. That's for sure. The Texans defense is probably the best in the NFL. I think their pass rushers, Will Anderson, is really emerging as a future defensive player in the year candidate. And they have an identity. They run the ball. Even with Stroud not looking, I don't think he was fantastic in this, but as well, Daniel Jones is just coming back to earth too. He's not doing what he did early in the year. So that's a thing. And Ram and the Bills and the Squealers, boy, both teams didn't look. uh, the Bills, I think, are still the Bills. They're going to score points. I think they're offensively, they're okay. I think like Josh Allen's there. They're going to score some points. They're okay. Defensively, they have issues. And I think that could cost them. Pittsburgh doesn't do anything well. Their pass rushers don't really create big sacks for them and turnovers. They don't really do anything well. Let's see. Okay, I agree with the first couple years. He wasn't accurate on deep ball until this year. That's all I was saying. Yeah, I look. Lamar's had issues this year. I think it's fair to say that Lamar is not what we have been seeing the first couple years. I definitely think it's fair to say. I know the issues with the offensive line. He certainly got good skill people. I mean, you definitely can't say that he doesn't have the skill people to get it done. Lions and the Cowboys. Who would have thought that this would have been a game even worth interest? We would definitely thought it, but I liked it in this game. From what I've seen from them lately, I think the defense has improved. They're going to score. This offense is good. They have two really good receivers, CeeDee Lamb and Pickens. They're really good. They're finally starting to get a run game with Williams. Dak Prescott's been scoring for him. I think the offensive line is much better than what people think it is and what they give credit for. So I really like what I've seen from them. Defensively, I think they can stop the run. I think that's now, again, this run challenge is probably as good as you're going to ever get with Jamar Gibbs and Montgomery. But I think that's the thing. But Josh's going to have to play better than what I've been seeing. He's going to have to. This is the knock on him. Can he put an S on his chest and kind of carry him a little bit? The Lions do have a bunch of injuries as well. You may not have St. Brown, etc. But I like Dallas in this game as well.
Are you?
Colts and the Jags in this one. Kind of like what I just said with the Bills and the Steelers. I'm not sure how I feel about either one of these teams. The quarterback scares me on both sides. I will say this. Lawrence is giving you something. And that's kind of the thing with him. As much as he drives you up a wall with too many bad throws, he'll have some days where he looks good. I think more so than Daniel Jones on the other side. I think defensively they're a little better than the Colts are. I think the Colts are. I think they're kind of getting. I think the hay's in the barn. Quote Jerry Sandusky with the Colts. I mean, they're kind of exposed at this point. They run the ball well. Taylor is having a phenomenal season. I think the line is really, really good, but they don't have really great receivers. Tyler Warren has kind of slowed his pace a little bit. I like the Jags at home as well. If Lawrence can just, well, he's going to have bad throw. I keep saying, I got to stop saying Lawrence is going to have bad throw. But I do think they do enough to beat the Colts at home. The Jags are still very much in contention to actually still win this division, and so is the Colts. So we will see about that in this game. All right. Bears and Packers. Bears, I think, are very impressive. You don't often give a rookie coach of the year, but I certainly a rookie head coach rather. But I certainly think Ben Johnson's certainly in line for that. I definitely think the job that he's done is like the team is flawed, and I stand by that. Their defense is. I'm just not that impressed, except for the fact they get turnovers. They get the ball back, which I think is the most important thing. They give up a lot of yards, but that's an issue. When you do that and you playing a good offense like Green Bay, that is an issue, right? It's that the Packers, I think, have righted the ship. I think the Packers, are all systems good. They've only really not looked good when Love has had bad days. That's kind of the theme. He plays well, they do well. So I think he's kind of going to be good down the stretch as well. They are a bit conservative for me on offense too. I don't know whether that's just out of Jordan Love, but I do think that this will be very close because the Bears have played a lot of games close to the vest. But I'm going to stick with the Packers in this one. I was leaning towards the Texans, even if the great Pat Mahomes was playing, and it doesn't look like he's going to play in this game. So I definitely like the Texans. I don't know. I didn't read enough on the Mahomes injury. I don't think he's playing this week. His status. Yeah, they may have to have Gardner Minshew play in this game. That's not good as well. I don't think this defense in the Texans is terrific on all levels. I think this is one thing you like about defense in terms of yards. They give up yards. They have great pass rush. I think the secondary is very, very good. I think it's outstanding. And they're getting enough from their offense. Their offense isn't bad either. I think both quarterbacks are very competent. CJ Stroud and Davis Mills are good quarterbacks as well. They're very solid in general. Nico Collins, I think, is a certified bona fide stud there as well. And the chefs just have problems. The chefs just have problems, especially with no Mahomes. They don't throw the ball down the field. I think they are going to have problems with this Texas pass rush as well. They don't really run the ball well. I gotta go Texans. Got to. Definitely going by what you're seeing here lately. Eagles and Chargers, kind of two teams in the same place here. Chargers and the Eagles offensive lines have been really banged up lately, and I definitely do think the Eagles bounce back here. I definitely think they're in line for a bounce back. Rick says they're dangerous. They could be in the team to beat in the AFC this year. I absolutely think that they could be the team to beat in the AFC. I think the Texans are really good. I think the Chargers are good too, but I do think the injuries are – I haven't been impressed with the Chargers in a while. And I know the Eagles have their problems. I'm well aware of that. I'm still more of a believer. I think the defense is still really good. I don't know what the problem is on offense. I think they're just kind of sleepwalking. I don't know what's going on with Saquon. That's really baffling as well. I know the line hasn't been as good, but it seems like they're almost not even using him at times. So they got to start using Saquon. But I do like the Chargers. I do like the Eagles, rather, in this game to bounce back. There you go. Big five biggest games on the schedule that are not Raven games. So absolutely enjoy all the games. And we have another comment. Yeah, the Chargers are missing both starting tackles. That's absolutely right. And two, not only are they missing two starting tackles, they're missing really good. Yeah, now the Chargers are missing two really good starting tackles. I mean, two all-pro level guys on top of that. All right. Let's talk about the Terps football for the last time for a while here. So the Terps finished their season 4-8 against the Michigan State Spartans. Just not good this season at the end. They lost 8 straight. Mike Locksley will be back. We know this. Mike Locksley will return for next season. They've said they're going to give him more resources, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not that hopeful. They don't compete in the Big Ten. They just don't compete in the Big Ten. I think in this one, it kind of showed up all the flaws that they've had. You have a good quarterback. You have Malik Washington there. I think this is part of why they want to keep Mike Locksley there in part, I think, to want to keep Malik Washington, to want to keep some of these defensive guys and add to it and kind of build off of that. So I do think that's the reason as well. They didn't help the quarterback enough, in my opinion. That didn't help him in this game. They kind of didn't help him all season long. Too many drops. I thought the wide receiving core had some talent. Shalik knocked Jalil Farouk, but too many drops, too many mistakes, errors. Run game was pretty much non-existent. Nolan Ray didn't give you anything. Dwan Williams got more carries, I guess, but the run game just didn't help you. Didn't help you at all. Defensively, they were getting gashed consistently. I do think the pass defense was good. Pass defense, I thought, was good. When you're getting that many interceptions, you're not that bad. So you are getting pass defense as well, but a long way to go. There's a long way to go in Maryland. I don't think you're one off. You never know in the transfer portal if you can get a couple guys. Let's see how well they compete. They're going to have Loxley back, but he's going to get one more shot with it next year. Michigan State coach Jonathan Smith was fired after the game. Funny enough, he was fired with the same record as Mike Loxley, 4-8, even with the victory. So it's funny how things happen for college football, and that's going to lead into the next thing we talk about. But we had a podcast last Wednesday. There was a game Saturday. Jonathan Smith coached in it. He was fired, and they've already hired Pat Fitzgerald, former Northwestern coach. He's already at work since the last time we had a podcast. That's how fast things move in college football. So we're going to have college football playoffs. We're going to talk a little bit about that once we get to the college football playoff and that as well. And Terps are done for the season. All right.
You done?
Let's talk a little bit. Not yet. Let's talk a little bit about this here. Because everybody else is talking about Lane Kiffin. So I did want to talk a little bit about Lane Kiffin tonight because and show the video of him going to Ole Miss's presser here because there is, what do the young people call it? Cap. Yeah, there's a lot of untrue stuff that went on here, bro. It is not. So this is the presser here, where Lane Kiffin is talking about his contract. This is his initial presser going from Ole Miss to LSU as well. Okay, all right, get ready for the bologna sandwich that's coming as well. But there's good reason. There's good reason for the bologna sandwich. Let's go ahead and go over this.
And I'm telling you right now, I don't know what my contract is here. That's not very financially responsible. Okay. I'm sure it's really good. Okay. I don't know what it is, nor did I know at the other places what the numbers were, because I said in the beginning, I told Jimmy Sexton, don't tell me the numbers. Okay. I want to make a decision that has nothing to do with money for me. Now, tell me the numbers and the plan for what the money is for the player.
Okay, yeah, that's not true. The quote, the great Maury Povich there, that's a lie. That's just flat out garbage. That's not true. I don't have the facts to believe that. You can go ahead and sue, but I don't believe that. Not at all. Let's put the graphic back up there. Matter of fact. So I don't believe that. I think there's a reason why he's not telling the truth. He's not telling the truth because it doesn't benefit the school or him or whatever to tell the truth. When you are leaving a job and going to another one, that is one time when you don't disclose all the information, right? In life, you see this a lot. People always walk around nowadays in boss mode nowadays in 2025. I'm boss this, I run this, I do this, I that, I'm the boss of the blah, blah, blah. They're not bosses in two areas. Even when they have all this boss talk and all this other stuff. There's no boss talk when there's talks about when somebody is leaving, getting fired, right? Then it's somebody else. Oh, it was that guy over there. I didn't fire you, man. It was this guy. And also to when it's time to spend money, then it's this guy. He got your money. That's what I saw with Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin is taking this job for the money. Period. $14 million. That's probably more than he would have got in the NFL. That's probably more than what he would have got in the NFL. At least he would have. Because he's been an NFL coach. He certainly didn't get $14 million. That's the reason why. That's what's being reported, $14 million. He said he didn't know what it was. Don't believe that. That's plausible deniability. Like, did I actually look at it and see it and know it for sure? Yeah. You don't know, but that's why he took the job. Because there's not a lot of difference between Ole Miss. People talking like Ole Miss. Ole Miss is not a mid-major. I mean, it's in the SEC. Like, it's not James Madison or anything like that. So it's a big school. They had Eli Manning graduate from there. So it's not. So that's why he took it. So he did take it for the money because that is a tough job, LSU. LSU, I think, is the toughest job in the country, I think, to take. The expectation is major high in LSU. Probably, maybe Auburn's tougher of a job, possibly. And Texas. Those would be the other ones where it's a religion, man. I mean, as far as that goes, where they're really on you. So those would be two tough jobs. But he's certainly taking it for the $14 million. All right. The other thing that's happening is why can't he wait? The transfer portal. Already, we talked about Maryland and Michigan State. One of the Michigan State wide receiver, I think Andrew Marsh, is already in the transfer portal. He's already looking. These guys now can't wait 2 months, 3 months. He can't coach in the college playoffs because guess what? He's going to miss out on players to make the team better, and the team has to be good right away in the transfer portal because there's no more waiting 3, 4, 5 years. You got to get in the transfer portal. You got to get guys. You got to be good right away. So that's the reason why this happening the way he's happening. He said he would coach the team to the end of the year. I didn't believe he knew they were going to tell him to take a walk. He's just trying to put it on them and say, all right, well, I would have coached. I would have stayed. Okay. Because they can't do it either. Ole Miss has got to go find a coach for the same reason, the transfer portal. If you are leaving, then they need to move, and they've already hired a coach, etc. That's why you're seeing coaches already being hired, the Fitzgerald thing so fast. So it's the transfer portal. And we've seen this as Maryland fans, right? We're going to talk next about Maryland basketball. Same thing. Willard and all that. He actually did coach through the tournament, but he was already working for Villanova. So that's what's going on. Well, a lot of people are killing Kiffin. He wasn't honest. He can't be honest. You can't be honest all the way when you are leaving and going to a different job. You just can't do it. So that's what happened as well. So that's Cap. And he should have left, honestly. If he wanted to take it, take the money, or just take better resources, whatever, better play, whatever it is, take it. You know, like I learned in the notary business. The answer is yes. Do you want me to still have to take the money? The answer is yes. Real quick. Maryland basketball. Oh, we got a comment here. I'm sorry. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Maryland basketball, real quick. Terps did win last night against Wagner as well. I thought still some issues on defense. Good to see their starting five last night from the preseason finally start on the court. All five. Miles Rice, Solomon Washington, Elijah Sanders, Pharrell Payne, and I knew I was going to forget. Miles Rice, Sanders, Darius Adams. So all five did actually play in the starting lineup last night. I would say clearly Pharrell Payne was terrific. He had 30 and 10. Terps did struggle in Las Vegas. So again, playing two top 10 teams, you struggled bad against Gonzaga. You struggled bad against Alabama. So not there yet. So next game, you're going to be playing the Iowa Hawkeyes on Saturday. definitely we're going to go ahead and be checking that out against Iowa. Again, first team in the Big Ten that you're going to be facing this season as well. Got to work on the defense, because they're scoring. They got scores. Deacon Cole can score. Pharrell Payne can score. Darius Adams can score. So they have that, but you're giving up 90-plus points. That's Let's finish with our OU. So, we had a signing this week as well. We talked about Mark Andrews signing the contract this week, 3 years, $39 million. 3 years, $39 million. So Mark Andrews is going to be beginning to end a Raven, going to finish his career as a Raven over Isaiah Likely and Charlie Kolar. And the Orioles made a signing this week. So let's take a look at how the lineup looks as of now. Winter meetings are coming up shortly. So we'll see some action. We're now seeing teams move and get players. Cedric Mullins signed. We already talked about Dylan C. Cedric Mullins signing with Tampa today, former Oriole. So now we're seeing teams now actually make moves. So if the lineup was to actually roll out today, last week we went over the depth. How would it look from beginning to end? The right-handed lineup, we're not going to do right and left, but this is, I think, how it would look right now if the season started. The top three, is it going to change no matter who you bring in? Jackson Holiday, Jordan Westberg, Gunnar Henderson, 1, 2, 3. Holiday, I think, they see him as the center, as their leadoff guy of the future as well. Gunnar Henderson, I think they're looking for him to bounce back in the third spot. If they do, for some reason, maybe sign a Bo Bichette or a Kyle Tucker, who they have history, I think that'll be the one spot. But I'm pretty sure that Jordan Westberg is locked into the second spot. So that's 1, 2, 3. Taylor Ward, I think, is going to be your cleanup hitter, acquired in the trade from California for Grayson Rodriguez. So I think he's going to hit fourth. Adley, as of right now, is still an Oriole. I think he hits fifth behind Taylor Ward. I don't think they're going to put him back in the second spot. I think they're going to leave him right there at 5, trying to give him some protection. Hopefully he can go ahead and bounce back. Colton Cowser, I think, is in the 6th spot. I'm not as big a problem with Colton as some of y'all have. I do think Colton, when he came back, was banged up. He's heading for power at least. So I think you could hit him at 6, even if he hits 230, 240. I kind of predict a bounce back for Colton this year as well. I think some of y'all are being a little hard on Colton as well. But I do predict a little bit of a bounce back for him. Kobe Mayo, I think, is going to get the start at first base. He's going to split. I think of the group here, he's probably going to split the most at bats. I think him and Mountie are going to split. You're going to see that based on matchup. But Kobe Mayo is going to get more starts. I think Sam Basayo, I think, is going to be your DH. He's going to hit 8th. I think you are going to see him catcher as well. They probably keep another catcher. We'll see. Dylan Beavers, I think, is going to hit 9th. I really like that. Dylan Beavers was definitely the most impressive. I think one of the most impressive going forward. Definitely our early 2 Rookie of the Year candidates. How does your bench look? Mountcastle, Jeremiah Jackson, Tyler O'Neill. I think it's also 2 between Peyton Ellis and Heston Kjerstad. I'm not sure which one will be there. Mountie, I'm sure, will be on the roster for sure. They picked up the option. Tyler O'Neill with their contracts for sure. Jeremiah Jackson, I think, has the inside track as a middle infielder. He can also play outfield. Ellis, I think, could be at AAA. So could Heston Kjerstad. It'll be interesting to see if they want to keep another outfielder and if you want to use Jackson in the outfield. So that could be fascinating to see. Do they view Jeremiah Jackson as an outfielder or do they view him as an infielder? I do think they are a little light there. Could he take the place of Jackson there? Possibly. But I do think they think more of Jackson. Jackson was on the roster last year. I think he'll be there. Heston Kjerstad, I don't think he's completely out of the plans. I think if he's healthy, he could be there. But he has had some health issues going forward. The rotation, I think this is absolutely how it looks from 1. I do have Rogers as 1, the number 1 starter. I do think most valuable Oriole, He was definitely treated like the number one. He had the best season last year. He'll be the number one. Bradish right behind. Bradish was very good, although he only pitched for the last few months. So I think that he's number two. Dean Kramer is number three. Solid innings eater. Definitely been healthy. I mean, he's one of the few guys the last couple years not on IL. Kay Povich and Tyler Wells are going to be in there as well. I'd almost be surprised if there wasn't another arm coming. But I think if they leave it like it is, this is what it'll definitely look like there for them as well. Bullpen, it may be more set than what we think. Certainly the big news, Ryan Halsey definitely signing now. He's going to be your ninth inning guy. 2 years, $26 million. He does have an opt-out after the first year. No question, this is going to be the guy to play Felix Bautista in the ninth inning. You're not going to have Bautista next year for most of the year for sure, but you're going to have Halsey in the ninth inning. I think that's going to be your ninth inning guy. In the eighth, you're going to see, I think, Andrew Kittredge. I think he's going to be the guy. I think they probably would have made him the ninth inning. They didn't reacquire him like for no reason. So definitely, I think they're going to use him. Cano, I think, is going to be given every opportunity, even though he struggled last year. Keegan Aiken, I think, is absolutely a lock as well to be there. Dietrich Enns and Rico Garcia, better than you thought they were at the end. I think that's why they kept them, because they really, really did perform as well. I didn't have K Stroud. K Stroud definitely was good again last year, so definitely he's going to be on there. Colin Shelby, think has a shot. His history, recent years, teams are keeping 13 pitchers, so this is 6, 7, 8, 13 pitchers is what they're going to keep. Interesting to see. Now, it would be interesting here because I think for sure you're going to sign at least one starter. So who doesn't make it out of this group when they actually sign a starter? Because I do think it is a possibility. They want to put Kay Povich, I think, in a bullpen, give him another lefty. So I think it's possible as well. But they're definitely going to be fighting for spots here in spring training as well. But I do think the Halsey signing is huge because now you have a guy in the ninth inning really now leading the way where you definitely know about it for sure as well. I do think the Orioles absolutely are going to make some more moves. I don't know about a big bat. I'm not sure. They might say they're done with that. I don't know where he'd play. So interesting to see if they get rid of Adley as well. There you go. There's your Orioles segment. And I just want to thank all of you for joining us here on the Ravery Sports Podcast here, the Ravery Sports Podcast live and Driving to the Top Productions. Definitely, we will see you Sunday. Looking into the camera right there. We will see you Sunday at the Ravens game after the Ravens defeat the Steelers in M&T Bank Stadium. Thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your week.